If you're not reaching your financial goals in life, this video is for you. And if you're excelling in your financial goals, but you want to take it to the next level, be sure to stay to the end, because I've got some tips for how to go from good to great towards the end. But first, let's talk about the foundation. The foundation, the very first thing, if you'd like to start achieving your financial goals, is really a mindset shift. You know, how are you looking at life? Do you think of yourself as somebody that can succeed financially, that can save money, that can reach your goals? And you know what? We all have different demons, different dragons that we have to deal with, right? For one person, maybe it's their finances. For somebody else, maybe it's how they eat. For somebody else, it might be they want to start working out. But it all starts with a mindset shift. And the best way to get there, I think, is to surround yourself with mentors. People that can put you in the right positive frame of mind. And for that, I really want to encourage you, you know, if you have those people in your life already, if you have those people, maybe not in your circle, but the next circle outside of your sphere, you know, build those relationships in person. That can take time and it can be hard. But, you know, we all have access to some great mentors through books, through audibles, through YouTube videos. And I really encourage you to do whatever you can to surround yourself with great people. Okay, the next financial thing that I want you to think about is creating a budget. If you're not hitting your goals, there's probably a reason for it, right? It's either that you're spending too much or you're not making enough money. And we'll talk about how to make more money a few points down. But as far as not saving enough, I'm not a huge fan of budgeting tools. I like to just say my goal is to save X dollars. But just like with my diet, a couple times a year, I have to, you know, really track everything to see exactly what I'm eating. So I have an idea of what, in my case, a 3,000 calorie a day diet looks like. Same thing with your budget. If you're not saving money, you may not be somebody that loves budgeting. Again, I'm not. But start with a budgeting tool. I know Dave Ramsey has a free budgeting tool. It's called Every Dollar. I'm sure if you Google Dave Ramsey and Every Dollar, it's a free tool. Or a lot of people like a tool called You Need a Budget. I'm not sponsored by either one. Dave, if you want to sponsor me, I'd be happy to talk to you. But You Need a Budget is a very popular one. There used to be Mint.com was popular, but I understand that they're stopping that service. So step one is to get a budget. Step two, this is controversial. Some people will disagree with me, but I think step two is if you work for a company that offers a 401k match, the very first dollars outside of your emergency fund. I should back up. Emergency fund is number one, and that's what the budget's for. Save at least $1,000. You know, half of Americans cannot pay for an unexpected $1,000 expense. Don't let that be you. And preferably have at least 1 month of living expenses, better yet 3 to 6 months. And that gives you the flexibility if, you know, for some reason you were to lose your job, to look for the right job as opposed to the next job. Step two is this 401k match. If your company offers a match, that's free money. So, you know, for a lot of companies, that's 1 to 3% of your salary, but only if you put in that amount. So put in that amount to get the money from the company that you're working for. Step three, start looking at your credit cards. Hopefully you don't have much credit card debt, but if you do, you know, that's one of the only ways to get a 20%, guaranteed 20% on your return on your money, is to pay off credit cards that are charging you 21%. Now there's two ways to do this. One is the academic theory, which is you look at the credit card that has the highest interest rate and you pay that off first. And from optimizing absolute dollars, that does make sense. But what I suggest people do is to pay off the credit card with the smallest amount first. You want to I think that success builds upon success. And the feeling of paying off a credit card and getting that behind you, that is a glorious feeling. Fortunately, I haven't had too much credit card debt in my past, but I did have 1 year where, you know, when my wife and I bought a house and we bought some furniture and that, we did have some credit card debt, and I can tell you it felt great as we started paying those off. So that's something to do next. Okay, next on the list is, and this is getting for people that have had some success saving up money. And for those of you that are working on these initial steps, you're gonna be there soon as well, so this is for you. You know, 80% of your success in investing, at least, is going to be your asset allocation. What percent of your portfolio you have invested in stocks and bonds. And over time, historically, stocks over long periods of time, stocks have outperformed bonds, but it's been a bumpy ride, right? A lot of people would look and say, oh, I should have all my money in stocks. Well, for most people, no. This isn't financial advice. I encourage you to work with your own financial advisor, but you know, the worst situation you can put yourself in is to be a forced seller in a down market. And one of the ways people get themselves that way is they get scared when the market goes down, and their emotions, their mindset forces them to become a forced seller in a down market just because they want the pain to stop. So for many of us, being 100% in stocks doesn't make sense. We need to buffer that, but your asset allocation is key. You've lived your life once. A financial advisor has helped hundreds of people get the right asset allocation for them. One of the things that happens is, you know, when you retire, you become much more risk adverse. There's different things in life that make you more risk adverse. When you have a mortgage, when you have liabilities for the first time in your life, all of a sudden your account being down 20, 30, 40% or more feels very differently than when you didn't have any of those responsibilities. So I encourage you to work with a fee-only financial advisor to get that asset allocation right. The next one is thinking high level about what I call buckets. What buckets is your money being saved in? Is it being saved in pre-tax? Is it being saved in a regular IRA or a regular 401k? Which when you retire, when you take money out, all of that is going to be taxable income for you. Or are you saving it like in a Roth IRA where you don't get the tax break up front, but you do get the tax break? It grows tax-free and you don't take money out. Or is it in your bank account? I call those tax me later is the regular IRA, tax me never is the Roth, and tax me as I go is your bank account. And you want to have money in all three of those accounts. So the next thing I want you to think about is how your money is allocated across those three buckets, because it's a lot easier to do that as you go, as opposed to once you retire. If all your money's in an account like a regular IRA where it's going to be taxable income on the way out, that can be painful because all your money is going to be taxable income. So get those three buckets right. Okay, and then the one that I think is the most powerful for all of us, and that is to work with a life coach. You know, to work with somebody whose job it is to help us thrive and to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. And I would argue that the best financial advisors, the best fee-only financial planners are not only good financial coaches, but they're great life coaches. And that can really move the needle for you. Another thing that can move the needle for you is watching this video up here where I talk about 4 must-have assets in retirement. We talked about saving your money, how to get on that path. Now look at how to spend that money. I'll see you in there.